Do this.
Very good. Warning. Please do not attempt to perform any of the stunts or activities in this show. They are dangerous and can lead to serious injury. Video submissions of any kind are accepted by one side of the corner, Head to Tails Gaming.
Are we live?
Yeah. We are live. Go ahead.
Goodbye, Haunted Castle Gaming. Hey, champions. It's always difficult to say goodbye to something you've put your heart and soul into. Unfortunately, after much deliberation and consideration, I've decided to close down Haunted Castle Gaming, Inc. and wrap up Genesis Battle of Champions. Am I reading this?
It's pretty lengthy, right?
It is lengthy.
It is really lengthy.
It's
all right,
really
no,
long.
we'll just leave it at that.
I'll leave it at that.
Welcome to One Side of the Coin. I'm your host, Steveo the Gamer. With me, as always, my co-host, Mack-Attack. And tonight we got a special guest. Guys, everybody should know this guy, Will Kemp, associated with Genesis for a very long time, like ourselves, kind of thing.
Yes, ma'am.
And then my wife just showed up.
Hi, Mom.
Wave. Hey, it's my wife. Background. Almost nearly 2 weeks ago now, an announcement has been made that Haunted Castle Gaming is no longer, and they're shutting down Genesis Battle of Champions. First initial reaction, shocked, very shocked, feeling blindsided as far as to what has happened. Your thoughts on this? Right off the bat. Like, I know you've been operating ETL for such a long time, right?
Yeah.
You did your final show not this Tuesday, but the Tuesday before. You finalized ETL right after the announcement was made. How's this making you feel? Like, honestly.
Yeah, it's been a mixed bag of emotions, I would say, for the last 2 weeks. It's sort of settled down now, like being at the end of the second week. Everything from, being upset, like angry, being sad, sort of like, oh man, like a lot of like I put my heart and soul into this, or I put a lot of effort into this, and now it's, what did that amount to? There was a lot of, anger as far as, I put a lot of money into cards, right? What are those worth now? I mean, it wasn't always about that. Like, I've always been the guy that opened everything, played with everything, used everything, and now it's transitioned into more like enjoying the moments and the friendships that I have, because a lot of friendships were formed from this game, and those friendships are going to remain even if the game is, closing up.
Right.
So it definitely has gone, a full circle as far as emotions, right?
Emotions. So, like he had stated in the statement about blood, sweat, and tears, I mean, can really, really extremely relate to that as far as blood, right? The amount of sweat and time that we put into playing in tournaments, the affiliations as well. And tears, right? I mean, tears kind of being the last one of just like so heartbroken that this has happened, right? So now you were directly associated with the design team, right?
At the end. Last few minutes.
So you kind of had precursor to what was coming as opposed to the rest of us.
I knew that there was going to be an announcement made. I didn't know what the aftermath or the fallout or like what exactly the announcement was going to say. I just knew that there was going to be an announcement, so I was prepared to go on ETL and sort of be there for the community. Was really my main role and responsibility. I felt like to try to help the community with the transition or understanding, the pieces that we had or whatever. There was, it was. I didn't know exactly the extent of what the announcement was going to be, though.
Okay.
I just knew there was going to be an announcement that most likely Genesis was going to, wasn't going to be continuing in the same fashion, but as far as like, what would the steps were or what all the details of what the announcement was, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that. So it was then more or less like a major shock to you, as it was to the rest of us and the rest of the communities, kind of thing.
There's definitely the shock. My shock was just maybe
a little bit less.
4 days earlier.
Well, I know that. Like, how much less can the shock value of this be, right? I mean, yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I was sitting in class and I got a message. Yeah, call me after school. I remember thinking I'm in trouble for something, right?
Well, I couldn't call you. You were in school. You were in class.
Well, yeah, but I'm here thinking I'm in trouble for something just because of the way you sent the message.
Best
like,
parenting
oh
move.
my god.
Right?
Best parenting.
Yeah.
You're a fag. Call me after school.
Yeah.
Very short.
Call me after school.
Sweatshirt.
And then I was like, is everything okay? He's like, nope, just call me after school. And I'm like, did you need me to come down to the store? He's like, nope, just call. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's how it went down, actually.
That's literally the messages. And so I slipped out of class for a minute and I called him. And I could just hear it, right? He goes, "As your tail's gaming," and he's he was not energetic as he usually is.
So depressed, so hurt. There were so much emotions going through me at the time. It was just ridiculous. Like, having been with the game since the start, right? Yeah. Since the beginning, since Alpha, right?
Well, when I called him, he picked up and I was like, "What's going on?" And he asked, he's like, have you read the website?" And I was like, "What website?" And he's like, "The Genesis website." And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Haunted Castle's shutting down." I almost cried.
Yeah.
And I'm standing in the school hallway.
I did cry when I first seen it.
I was pretty damn close to it.
Several times throughout that day, right? But yeah. Do you think that it should have went down this way? Like, I mean,
personally, I feel like, I want to say there was all these other options and there's other ways that could have happened, but I mean, clearly from the statement and from the quickness or the pacing of the shutting down, that it seemed like there wasn't any other options, at least maybe in Sid's mind. So, but yeah, I would have hoped it would have gone. I mean, Invasions was done. As far as like ready to go to print, like really would have been nice, because I think that would have really shaken up.
Not because the internet here is dropping out, like really.
It shouldn't be.
So while Kenny fixes that.
Well, if we could have for a minute. Oh, well, no.
Okay.
So I think I want to say there's a whole bunch of options, but at the end of the day, I don't know what options there were.
Yeah, no lead up, just dropping the bomb like that on us, I think hurt the most. No, kind of like, okay, the company's kind of struggling, or whatever the case may be, or the reasons, like, we don't even know 100% fully what's truth and what's not as far as why this has happened. Just the fact that he did this, boom, like in one shot, no lead up to it. There was hope. There was progression happening, right, for Genesis with Invasions coming, especially, like, just no inclination that it was going to happen. Weren't anticipating it. No lead up or announcements. And it. At this point, it's like trying to figure out what went wrong, what's truth, what's kind of rumor. Like we are getting a lot of rumors as to what happened. A lot of people are starting to come up with conclusions as far as what's happening, what's to come, kind of thing. But I mean, all said and done, it's like, what do we do now, right? It's like, what do we do now, right? So we're not going to see Invasions to a print at this point, is what they're stating.
Right.
There's potential print to play, potentially. However, due to some rumors about artworks, etc., it's like, is it actually going to be fully available to us through print and play?
Yeah. How much like from the design team point of view, I can say that the card text, the values of cost, that type of stuff was done. But beyond that was not really my purview as far as like information. So artwork can be expensive, right? There's another 150 card set, so depending on how things or when things were done and how things were handled, like, it's hard to say, to your point, like, maybe there is some artwork that's not available to be printed, right? So
is when you just pop into a Word document, you write all the writing, you draw your own picture.
Yeah, right. And it's like, well, even having my heart goes out to Jeff Pizzito as well, right? And to the entire community, everybody. Thank you, Billy, for joining us. Hi, he's saying hi to you more than me anyway, but and the Scheming Skeleton for sure, 100%. Yes, it's such a huge impact on the community, those who have dedicated, and it's not just investing, but put their heart and soul in the game, right? Like, I mean...
Developed a community, started, a playing group, maybe started playing TCGs with other people, or maybe it was their first one, or... there's a whole bunch of people that were just sort of coming and finding Genesis, right, at this, and sort of this year, 2023, there's a whole bunch of new people coming in.
Whole bunch.
To the Discord and stuff, right? So
Cam was even making his own cards, like by himself.
Yeah, my son, Cam, he started designing his own stuff, right? And was putting together a collection of stuff that he was going to present to you guys, right?
Nice.
As far as, ideas for Genesis, different mechanics or whatever that he's been thinking of, right? So, I mean, it's not like there wasn't support, right? From the communities for this game, right? And it's like, I kind of sat back a little bit over the last week. I know we haven't streamed in like 4 weeks, and I apologize to our viewers. Construction in the store was the number one factor. And then we got really busy the one night that we were about to. Kenny was even all set up and ready to go, and
I was sitting here, and then all of a sudden,
customers upon customers upon customers just coming in, and it was just, and that's not a bad thing for the store, mind you, but on the flip side, it's just I looked at the almost 8 o'clock, right, and it was like, Kenny just shut it down because more people were still coming in, right, so. And feelings upon what has happened, I'm sure you guys, everybody knows at this point, right?
Maybe we should go there and interview them.
Jeez, Mom.
I'll come along.
Yeah, well, my
like,
wife wants to go over there and interview Yoda's data, so, I mean, but we also did kind of not fully promise, but, put the suggestion in.
Or knew each other fairly.
So strong. It was a
very strong, close-knit community as far as people who really loved the game. We played the game. For some of us, it was the main game we played. Like, Genesis was the main game that I played. Like, I've played Magic, I've played other games.
Yeah.
But it was my main. Like, it was my main reason for coming out to play TCGs. So.
Yeah, I actually focused more on Genesis once I got deeply into it anyway. And it's like I kind of backed away from playing Commander and Pokemon and all the other games that I was playing, right? And it's like just Genesis, right? It was my primary game, right? So everybody's like, "Oh, you're gonna play Magic with us?" No, I'm looking at Genesis stuff, right? Or doing research on Genesis or whatever, right? So it's like it did take up a lot of my time. Well, one thing that I had mentioned in a conversation with someone, and it's like, does it really matter the amount of progression? Like, if that's the case, it's like it wasn't growing enough, we weren't getting enough people into communities, if that was really affecting his decision to do this, right? Like, I mean, I had said it's like whether you get one person joining a community or 10, it doesn't really matter as long as you're getting at least one, right? It's growing in that sense, and it doesn't have to be in such a short period of time, right? Like, I mean, 5 years, and it took 5 years to get to where Genesis is today. What would it be like in another 5 years, right?
Yeah,
exactly. And it could get, once you get that snowball rolling and more, and was it not fast enough for them? Is the one question that I've been asking myself, and it's like, what was I doing wrong as an organizer for Genesis or a promoter of Genesis, even doing the YouTube channel? And it's like, were we not doing enough? Were we going wrong, kind of thing, right? And it's, but were we really? Like, is that not really our responsibility but we did our best, right? And that's the number one thing, right? So I know, like, people like the Scheming Skeleton and whatnot, and even Yoda's data, like, I don't know if they have YouTube?
They streamed their circuit last year.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, because we watched it here in the store. I remember now. Yeah. So I mean, all these communities that took on Genesis and promoting it and whatnot. I mean, it's not enough growth for Haunted Castle? Like, is this part of the reason why this is happening? Right?
Yeah, I mean that's hard to say. If I guess it depends on what their metrics were for what they wanted or where they needed to be, right? If their metrics were based off one person coming in, then that's one perspective. But maybe they needed 1,000 people coming in, right? I don't know. Like if those are very different processes to reach that number of people,
Right.
right? And so what those metrics were, I don't think we'll ever know. But one of the things I am reminded about when something like this happens is like in video games, right? Sometimes video games stop or servers get shut down,
Yeah.
and then you can't go back and play that, right? But you think even Yoda's Data saying there, right? They're not going to stop playing.
They like multiplayer.
Right, they like the multiplayer format, and
Nice.
we have the card pool. You can still play this game.
We can still play it.
I'm playing over
That's
there,
right.
or before we started this, I was playing, right?
Mhm.
So there's no reason to stop, and the Discord is still alive, and there's been a lot of activity since all this, and people are talking about, let's play, and I'm going to have an event for Genesis coming up on the 29th, right? So get people playing more, right?
Mhm.
Trying to keep that community together for as long as we can.
As we can, yeah, and that's one of the things I had stated a long time ago. Well, that no matter what happens with Haunted Castle, like I have so much love for Genesis that no matter what, regardless if it continues or not, I'm still going to continue to play this game. We have enough product, we have enough stuff, right, to continue on. And still enjoy the game for what it's worth, right?
And I remember him telling me that too.
Yeah, and I said it to a Sid as well, right? It's like that's how much passion I have for Genesis, right? But the 2v2, right? Is that what he's saying? The multiplayer?
Yeah, multiplayer,
Or however,
2v2,
or
free
just
for all,
free-for-all kind of thing, all
Yeah.
those newer formats that were introduced to it, right? I mean, and there's a way to expand, and we've been working on newer formats. Even Joey, who did the dungeon crawler kind of thing, right? Like, I mean, I was a little on the downside with that because it was like there was a lot of emphasis on it and not enough on the regular game. But it is what it is, right? So I mean,
I've heard it was a lot of fun. I didn't get a chance to do it, but maybe it's something that we end up getting to now that.
yeah, I mean, if you get a little bit on the tired side of playing the regular game or the other formats, you can start transitioning into playing the dungeon crawler kind of thing. So I mean, we have enough stock for it, right? So I mean, it's ridiculous. But yeah, moving forward, it's like, what do you think are besides continuing to run it, or other ways that we can keep Genesis alive?
I mean, yeah, the simplest for most is just keeping the community engaged, the community going.
You enough for Will?
No, I'm good. I'm talking.
He's talking.
Like keeping the community going, engaged, and the Discord alive as much as we can. I think, I don't know. Like, so this is not really. I don't think I've played any other games that have closed down in this way, right? Like that are card games. Like I wasn't around for Keyforge, but now Keyforge kind of kept going. But I'm sure
You don't hear
there's
too
other
much about
ones.
Keyforge
Not anymore.
yeah.
I know there is supposed to be a revival coming, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so like I don't know. What are you thinking about options?
It's going to be difficult because I mean now that he's made the announcement, right? And so this kind of incorporates with something else that I was told. It's like the competition, right? So with newer stuff coming out,
Right.
and it's going to drive a lot of attention to it, and I'm worried that Genesis is just going to fall off the face of the earth, kind of thing, right? Because of the new stuff. But was it really that much of a competition? Like, say Genesis was to be continuing on, right? So you have a lot of new stuff coming out. You got Lord Khan's coming. Magic's producing a whole bunch of new stuff this year.
Sorcery's a big one.
Sorcery's another one. Cryptic's another one that's
Starting, yeah.
It's starting up, right? So I mean, all these other new games. in the TCG world that's starting to progress and get noticed and whatnot. How much does it really affect Genesis? I mean, at this point now, yes, we can state that more or less it's gonna.
Yeah, their Genesis pool or piece of pie was getting smaller, but I always felt like Genesis was the most unique in all of those because of how the systems worked and because of how the game played. Like,
It was something
very
different.
different. Yeah, Cryptic's very similar to Magic with some tweaks on the system. Sorcery is very much a Magic-ish clone with a little bit more board game, and some of the grid is still there. There's that comparison. Lorcana, we just found out, is basically Keyforge this week, so that's going to be interesting because that's very different style of game, different way of playing, more of a race, less of a battle.
Right.
But Genesis was a fight. It was all your resources drain as you go. It's
an upfront resource system, 5x6 grid system, and then awareness. Like, it was a standalone game. Every single game I think that comes out has its own little tiny mechanics to it that make it its own unique style of gaming in a TCG world. This, I think, for Genesis is way above and beyond, right? Because of the mechanics, how the game operates, your cards moving around, awareness specific, resources up front. Like, we'd never seen a game like this before, ever, right? So, being that unique, but trying to get drive that interest, right? And pulling people away from stuff that they're already used to. And I think every single game moving forward is going to have that same situation, right? And it's like, are people going to be really interested in this, right? How is it going to drive the communities and build communities? Like,
I mean, the big three are the big three, right?
They're always going to be the big three. Yeah. And I think any new game coming onto the market is, if they're going to, step to bat right off the bat, or right away, right against them, I don't think they're going to
very different perspective.
It's going to be very difficult for them, right?
I think there's a lot of space for a game just to exist on a smaller scale, right? Like, you could have a player base of 500, and you're putting out product for that 500 people, and you sort of know what your player base is going to be, and you kind of keep it going and enjoy. I think there's a way to do that, but there's definitely been, at least very recently, there's been this push to, like, you got to put out a lot of product so you can get a lot back. And I don't know if Genesis got mixed up in that, or if there was, I always thought it was kind of very community based, and it's hopefully what it will remain. Like I said, I don't think there's any reason that, like, we have to stop playing, or there's no reason to, completely,
we're not going to stop
get rid of the Discord or anything like that, right? So all those things can live well beyond this current time, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I don't want to get too much into what rumors have been flying around and what's been stated,
I don't think
right,
there's
kind
any
of thing.
benefit of that.
Yeah, there's nothing really until we know. Do you think we're owed a final explanation, though, as to what's happened or why this has happened, kind of thing? Right?
I mean,
instead of speaking on behalf of everybody, you personally.
Me
Like,
personally.
are you looking for...
I would love to have a little bit more light shone on things, but I'm not, the announcement did lay out a lot of things, and it, I mean, I would love to know more, obviously, but the only reason for knowing more would be to, we can't go back and change it, right?
No.
So, in the end...
Can't go back and change it, but, I mean, is there a potential way of fixing it?
It's left to be seen.
It's left to be seen, yeah.
Like, I can say, like, I know that there's a lot of people who are looking to try to, keep things alive more than just a community, right? There's a lot of people putting a lot of effort into that. And I appreciate I appreciate all those people who are willing to take those steps to try to keep it alive, because that speaks volumes, right?
Yeah.
It speaks, it tells me that there is something here that is worth trying to save and trying to not necessarily preserve, but keep going. And I don't know what the end result of all those efforts will be. I don't know if those efforts will even amount to anything.
Yeah.
But knowing that people are putting in the effort definitely has made the transition to our current state much easier.
Yeah.
If it was like, here's the announcement, everything's closing down, and then, everyone just left, and I was like, well, clearly we were wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But there's enough
we're
people
right.
that
There's
are
enough
still.
people who are sticking around.
They want to fight for it. They want to,
Exactly, and that tells me that we were right.
They're talking about trying to keep the communities alive, whatever little bit that they can do, right? It's starting to show just through talking with people. Now, just those alone who've invested, right, so much into it, right, monetary wise, history has shown that like once a game dies and is dead from the market, like basically everything becomes like no value, right? Like, maybe
it takes a while, and then sometimes there's
a little bit of
I want to go find this, and there's like, oh, I have some of that.
Yeah, exactly. For people that are high-end collectors, kind of thing, or really wanting to seek out those older games that are no longer in print. But like at this point, it's like the amount of product that your collection, right, my collection, kind of thing, and all those people that have put their heart and soul into trying to get the ultimate Genesis collection, right? Especially in a very short period of time, like it's really affected them, right? I know how I'm feeling about it. I'm not giving up anything as far as my collection and whatnot, but I'm assuming you're not either.
I'm downsizing some of what I have.
Some stuff, kind of thing.
I'm like not getting rid of anything. Like I have completed sets. I have stuff that I'm not touching any of that stuff. But as far as what I need to play with now, I'll probably downsize it down to instead of keeping 20 of every card, maybe I keep 10. Something like that, or
exactly,
or whatever.
Yeah, you're probably not going to build as many decks.
Won't be building as many decks. I'll probably have a very refined deck list that I keep, and then
when I was like even talking to Sid, 2021's champion, right? I mean, he won the Alpha Box.
Unnecessary to say that, but
what? Why? Why?
I'm 2019. I don't get that chance.
Oh, yeah, that too, right? I mean, no more championships, right? For those who've been aiming to get that title, right? Like myself and.
We're back.
Oh, did we cut
We've
out?
returned.
Yeah, we cut out for
how long?
10 seconds. Or...
Oh, 10 seconds. Okay.
I'm with Yoda's data on it on the Envision being printed.
Spit out.
Mom's looking up. She's shaking her head.
It's all right.
She's like, I can't even believe I raced this
Okay,
kid.
come on, Yoda's dad. Let us know. Do you guys still? Do you have the trophy in German?
I'm with them. I want Envision printed. Yeah. Dude doesn't even care about the fact that there goes.
Yeah, there goes Kenny. What the heck, man?
First we lose the internet. Now we lose Kenny.
Germany then.
Right.
For the
We have
trophy.
to have another tournament for the trophy.
There's nothing saying we can't do more tournaments, right? It's just that it's going to be fan and run and fan produced. So
Let's do Genesis boxing.
but
That'd be funny.
it's one of those.
Yeah.
What?
You ever heard of chess boxing?
No.
You play chess for 2 minutes
Like-
and then you box. No.
Chess boxing.
No. Chess. There's
Wow,
no T.
this
Chess.
took
Did you
a
invite
turn.
me on?
I don't know, man. It's like the conversation just went
It
right out
laughed.
the window. I'm still waiting to see if they're going to respond
No, I
about the
said we
trophy.
should, because Mom said we need to go to Germany for a final championship for the trophy. I said, no, let's just do Genesis boxing. Then she was like, what the hell is that? So I said, you know what chess boxing is? You play chess for 2 minutes, you box for 2 minutes, and you go back and forth until someone either gets a checkmate or someone gets KO'd. So, you play until
Kids.
someone dies, or you play until someone's knocked
I've
out.
never played chess like that.
Those guys looked a lot younger than Dad. Not saying Dad can't, hold his own, but they looked a lot younger. And with Dad's bad knees,
Did you see the way his head just snapped back? I'm not saying Dad's old or anything.
Bad knees.
I am old. I'm old.
No, you're not.
I am.
no, you're not, because then that makes me old.
Anyway. Oh, boy.
I'm glad you invited me, Dad.
Kenny leaves for 5 minutes, and this is what happens.
Yeah,
I think
right,
we
we
need
lose that
Kenny
guy.
back To keep us in line.
Yeah, so it's. I think there's still a lot of hope. I think the community's still very hopeful.
We have hope,
It's
right?
only
I
been
mean,
2
that's all.
weeks.
That's all we can do. It's only been 2 weeks. There's still a lot of time ahead.
I think everyone's still processing things as well. Like, even though it's been 2 weeks, I think there's still some people that are sitting there in shock.
Well, it
Some
took
people
me.
are just finding out too.
Yeah, some people
yeah.
are still just finding out that this has happened. But maybe he's not going to respond. Maybe he thought we cut off altogether. So,
maybe.
but anyway, that'd be nice to get our hands on that trophy, right? Have it sitting here. But anyway, back to that discussion. Yeah, so I'd asked him if he was going to be opening his box of Alpha, right? And then right away he's like, "Did you open yours?" And it's like, "No." It's
Yeah,
like,
Oh,
open it,
Sid?
yeah. So it's
That's it.
yeah, it said I'm not allowed to say it. I was gonna say the 21
sure,
championship. I'm not allowed to say it.
Sure.
You played in the top 8 and you won
All the time. Yeah.
the draft as
Are
well.
you even allowed to do that?
Before I was, yeah. I'm not allowed.
Before you
I'm
were?
not allowed.
I thought it was like whoever played in top 8 wasn't able to play in the...
Okay,
draft.
well, you don't have to go there.
Yeah. We're still good.
It's
We've gotta.
fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. It's
The
like
comment that they made at the end, though, when they were announcing, dude got kicked out of top 8 so fast he was able to go and play the seal.
yeah.
All right.
But anyway, yeah, we're not gonna go back to that.
Oh, that was so funny, though.
I'll still hold it against them for ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kenny, what are you doing?
I am hooking up a wireless adapter so that we can.
Please don't blow us up.
Yeah, don't blow
Please
up
don't
the
blow us up.
store.
It's
Okay.
contraption there.
This thing is not a contraption; it's a full board.
Well, we haven't gotten any
Can I
comments.
see
Like,
that
are we
for
still
a second?
connected?
Here, let me see.
We are. We're kind of going between poor connection and less poor connection.
Oh,
There we go. We have connection.
We do have a connection right now.
I'll never forget seeing that Maple Leaf on my
Ship
first
that
pack.
over. That
Excitement,
little green
pride.
bar in the
All
bottom.
the best to everyone. Yeah, the fact that it was a
Yeah,
Canadian-based game,
Canadian-based,
and they
right?
had that
Like-
little leaf on it. That is the weirdest piece of electrical stuff I've ever seen. I'm sorry, but that's like
Anyway,
Are we transitioning to our pile of stuff?
our pile of stuff. Oh, that's our tribute to Jeff Pizzito for the month. Jeff,
well, 2 months.
because we haven't gotten the Genesis Patreon. Now I know anybody that is a Patreon member. He did make the announcement that Patreon will be no longer for Genesis, which is going to cut some of our content as well.
I don't even know if I want to open it.
What?
The last Patreon.
Well, yeah, we will.
Well, it's hard between me because it's like, do I want to open it or do I want to save it because it's the last one? It's almost like the Alpha box.
No, just
Alright.
open it.
You gotta enjoy the last
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
we have to
so,
enjoy the
yeah.
last
You don't
one
have to enjoy the first one. You have to enjoy the last one.
and cry.
No.
Cry.
You do
No.
whatever you do to heal over this moment.
Yeah. I don't know if I can heal though. That's the thing, right? Until an announcement's get made that Genesis is going to continue, right? And it's like we're going to continue it in our own way,
Oh, and he brings you like.
regardless, right? But I mean, to progress, I should say that Genesis is going to progress and keep the game alive, and new stuff's going to come out, and we're going to see, everybody smiling again. And the excitement around it. It's like new set coming or whichever, right? So, but kind of had a feeling it's like there was no announcements about circuit events this year, or there was no talk of championship this year, and then even discussing invasions. It's like trying to get into spoiler season, right? When that was going to start, and there was no announcements made about that. And we were getting really hyped up and wanting to do it and participate in it, right? So it's like
Which one, sorry?
spoiler season,
Yes.
for invasions. So
Oh, yeah, we spoiled a lot, though.
we did last year for
Yeah.
Origins. It was so much fun. We really enjoyed it. Was
We
looking
got to
forward
spoil some things on stream for Invasion.
for Invasions. Yeah, with the help of Joey and
Yeah.
Kenny and that, some of the artworks for Invasion.
Champions.
And talking about the new champions. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That was one thing he had stated about the new champions, if they're going to be printed or not. So any more word on that?
I remember hearing that question.
Nothing that you've heard of, right? So
Everything's gone dark.
I mean, even looking at some of those champions, they were there was cards specifically in the set that were geared towards them, and then not being able to get those right, it would make it very difficult to actually play those champions in the present format, right? So it's, I don't know, blood, sweat, and tears, man, huge, big time. Yeah. But yeah, as I said, our hearts go out to the community, and we're going to do our best to try and keep Genesis alive as much as we can. We want to hear any comments, concerns, feelings. You just need somebody to talk to about Genesis. We're always available. You can reach out to me via Facebook or through my emails, steveothegamer@hotmail.com if Kenny wants to put that up. You can reach out to me, and I'd be glad to sit and have a chat with you about Genesis anytime, right? So, steveothegamer@hotmail.com.
I'm on Instagram if anyone wants to reach out to me too. Just saying. Mack-Attack, or yeah, I almost forgot the butter.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know. Anything else you want to add?
I think the next period of time is going to be a lot of ups and downs, and hopefully we can enjoy the game.
What's that say?
Ouch, that's a little bit aggressive.
What's a little bit aggressive?
Probably wanting to get the trophy back.
Oh, maybe.
So does that mean he still has it?
I don't know.
Now I'm the aggro.
I think there's a delay.
There might be a delay, yeah. I don't know.
15 to 30 seconds, depending on the day.
Okay.
I was gonna say, because right after I said that I was on Instagram, that came in, and I was like, the fact that I'm on Instagram is aggressive?
Yeah, we don't know what he's talking about now. We've talked about so much stuff, but
I'm on Instagram and it's aggressive.
But I mean, I think, I think that I am still hopeful that it's not like closing and everyone's going away and going off to other things. But at the same time, we have the chapter of Genesis has ended at this point. Okay, so with the information that we have, right, we keep it going the way that it is, in the form that it is, and hopefully. There's tons of stories of games living beyond, the creators being there, or games that are just run by fans. And,
yeah.
There's a whole bunch of different projects that come out from that. And but it is interesting that with this this style of game, and and some of the other games coming out, how quickly do people move over, or who remains, or all those questions are.
Yeah, remains to be seen. I mean, like, you look at some of the other ones, like Digimon took a long time before it came back.
Yep.
And it's been successful. Well. It's doing really well. The same with VS, Universus. Sorry, with
Digimon stopped for a bit.
Yeah,
there
like
was
there's
an
old game
like
a long time ago. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Right around the same time when Pokemon first came out. But it was only a very short period of time that it was out, and they released a few sets or whatnot, and then it just died. But now it's back, full force, right, doing well. Mind you, I don't think the old stuff that they originally made is usable in the new game. It's revamped of the entire game, right? So,
I mean, there's the Netrunner group, right? The group of fans that took over Netrunner and kept it going.
Yeah,
it was adjacent, but kept the game alive, right? So.
On Universes with My Hero Academia, right? So bringing it back,
a remastering of that system,
which is still usable with the old game, but it can also be played standalone, right? So with a slight variation to the deck build kind of thing. So, which is absolutely cool. So, like, maybe, who knows? Within 10 years, I'm just pulling a number out of my ass on this one, right? It's I'm not literally pulling numbers out of my ass. Down the road, in maybe a few years or whatever, a handful of years, and then we see Genesis back, right, kind of thing.
Who knows at that point?
Could go stronger. Yeah, we just don't want it to 100% die out completely, where it's totally forgotten about, and you know, you look at somebody that used to play it and you're like, Genesis, and they're like, huh? What is that? Right, kind of thing. Like, we don't want to see that happen,
No.
which is why we're still going to push to try and keep the communities alive and playing Genesis for what it is, right? So we still didn't get an answer yet, eh? From Yoda's data, if they have the trophy.
Yeah. We have Devin Mike talking though. Thanks for all you've done for the game.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, and we're gonna keep doing more of that as much as we possibly can. And what's that last one? Awesome
Reborn too.
Reborn, yeah.
What's a reborn? Oh, maybe that was for the Digimon stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, Jeff Pizzito, I gotta thank him as well. If you're not a member of his Patreon, you might want to get on board. So he sends us some awesome stuff that we're gonna take a look at really, really quick here. Kenny, if you want to switch the camera.
This one feels
Yeah, start with this one
Start with
because
this one?
that's last month's, which we did not get a chance to. Please do not bend.
Oh.
So we held.
Look, he got his sticker.
Yeah, he's got his own branded sticker now.
It's a piece of paper.
We held a dedication tournament. I had to open it because there was. Hang on, I was just about to explain it. We held a dedication tournament to his recently passed away father.
Oh,
right? And
yeah.
some of the contents of the Patreon was meant to go to those players. So I wanted to make sure that they got it. Go ahead. It's a long letter.
I'm not reading all of this.
Oh, okay.
I'll read the last one.
Why?
A Patreon this month. This month is a little different. Instead of cards, you're getting comic books.
We got
Hope you
comic
enjoyed
books.
them. Here's what you're getting this month.
Steve's
Apocalyptic Dreams, #1.
There was no dash. Mac was all capitalized.
Not a mind reader.
Apocalyptic Dreams.
Thank you. Yeah, so you can read. Flux and Star King.
I think I got a new co-host.
Yeah, I can't read. I think we. I do stay in. That's not a stream conversation.
Roasted at the same time.
About the third one, Star King.
Oh, time out.
time
Before
out.
you go, Yoda, it's data. You gotta let us know if you still have the trophy.
Where's the trophy?
He has to
That's all he
sleep.
cares about is the trophy.
I was about to read something important, and he's like, "Screw you guys, trophy."
Trophy. Well, it's the Genesis trophy. I just wanted to know if
I
it's
didn't
over there.
think it ever went over there because it was too fragile.
I'm going to aggressively write "Where's the trophy" in chat.
Where's
The trophy.
the
We want to know
trophy?
where the trophy is.
Okay.
To be fair, my store's had 2 championship winners.
Oh, who is that?
Hey.
What's that?
Who was that?
Myself and Sid. What do you mean, who was that?
Go on.
Right?
Oh, I heard.
Anyway, sorry. Go back down.
Okay. The third one, Star King here that we got. I'm gonna read this one because, yes. This one carries a little more significance this month. My father made his own, and in quotes, comic book. When he was a teenager, he wrote and drew and colored it himself and kept it in a ringed binder on a shelf in his room for his whole life. I scanned it and re-lettered it and printed it out for him and thought, what a better way to commemorate his passing than to send you a copy as well. It is my original inspiration for art and all things creative, and I hope you find inspiration in it too. And we're not going to read the rest of it because spoilers. And hang on, okay, we'll skip the one part. Thanks for all your support throughout this Patreon as well as all my socials. I didn't even read that. I couldn't do this without you. The love and support you always show to me, and any questions you can reach him online. Okay.
Sid has it.
The trophy.
Oh,
Sid's
okay.
good. Oh, Sid.
Why does Sid have it?
That's it.
Oh.
That's it. Oh, he just said Sid though. It's SID. Hey Sid, you have the trophy?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. He wasn't. He spelled your name instead of acid. So
Hey. Where's my
I thought
name?
I'd seen it.
what's that? I have one for you in the back.
Oh, there was 2 of them in here.
No, it's just the one. So he told me to keep the one that's supposed to go to Marco, to give it to you because he was sending it directly to Marco.
Who's
because
Marco?
Marco is, or Marcus. Marcus from up at North of Exile?
North of Exile?
Yes.
And why were you told to keep it?
Because Jeff was sending one directly to him.
Oh.
The other two people that got it were Yan and Sid. Because they played in that tournament as well.
Camera's looking at an empty mat. Maybe you should give him something to look
I'm
at.
trying. Okay, is that up right?
Yes.
Good. We got can we have the lights killed
That's okay. We're good.
or not?
Pink
I
too.
can start flipping switches.
This will be fun.
Yeah, I would actually. Maybe we should send her to do that just to see what one she'll flip first.
Start at the breaker box.
On our way downstairs, you'll find this. So we got a foil.
It's for his own game solo venture.
Yeah. I can't
Foil
read that
promo.
though. I don't even know if you guys can. The lighting.
Here.
Tyvar.
Hi, bud.
Typhar, Proud Blade.
Yep.
Set. And then we have the comics.
Looks.
Star King, Flux, and the.
Hot Electric Dreams.
Yep, one I can't read.
So thank you very much, Jeff.
Yes, these are very nice.
It's the same thing.
I want to take a quick flip through this one. That's cool. Without spoiling. Ooh. Too quick to flip. Oh, there were men in the sky. I think we have to go back to that page. That was wherever the page. Yeah, men in the sky. Whee! That's cute.
Yeah. So these are books done by Jeff's dad / Jeff.
I think the first one was Jeff's dad.
This
The first one
one's
was
dad,
Jeff's
and then
dad.
these two are
Done by Jeff. Yeah.
Jeff.
So he's a really good artist for one. Responsible for the chibi artworks of the champions for Genesis Battle of Champions, and a slew of other promos and proxy cards. Right. So. He's an artist on his own, and he's also a game creator too.
All
So
in black
solo
and
venture for the card that you had seen. People can't see it again, but I'll just hold it up. As well, so he's creating his own games and growing. Right, he's doing really well. It's awesome. Love his artwork. So that was from last month, by the way.
This month. Let's see how we wrote the names this time.
Then Kenny's gonna take 10 minutes to change it.
Because these are always very interesting and absolutely hilarious. I love reading the names that we get on these papers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of go to sleep.
Kind of those things you'll see.
I can't even read that.
Stefano and Machiavelli.
What?
You got Stefano and Machiavelli.
Stefano?
There, you wanna
Nope. I
see how to spell it? You know how to spell that? What?
He's gonna attempt to spell it.
Machiavelli with an H.
Mach.
Close.
Well,
Matt.
Machiavelli, sure.
Yeah.
Machiavelli.
It's not a
This
K,
is all.
it's an H.
This is all because he.
You didn't even
he-
spell it right. It's an F,
misspelled
not
my
a
name.
PH.
Okay, read it.
Um,
So we can wrap this up.
we gotta change that. Thanks again for being a patron. This month's offering is very heavily Genesis focused, and as I find that seems to be a common love of my patrons and fans at this point. I hope you have as much fun playing with them as I had creating them. We're skipping this part. We're gonna skip that part too. We'll figure it out. Thanks for being part of Patreon everywhere online, honestly. Okay, yeah, reach out to them online. Okay, next.
Hot.
It was spoilers.
Ooh.
Oh,
We could see some of it on the camera here. It looks pretty dang awesome.
Right?
I want to read the list.
I don't know if they're in order or not.
I don't think so. Oh, they might be. Yeah, I think they are.
A Okina Ha full
Yes.
art card. from a surprise forthcoming solo venture expansion. So this will be another card in his new game. Pain Imp.
I'm keeping this. I'm keeping this.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
It goes in the.
people.
It
Show it.
Show the
goes.
people.
This is a Pain Imp parody
It's the
proxy.
elbow meme.
That does look awesome.
I
It
hate
does look
Pain
really
Imp.
awesome.
That's the only version of Pain Imp I would play.
Right? It's the elbow meme. That's so funny.
A Yadal Chibi champion. Yadal, right?
Yadal.
You dial.
Yadal, yeah.
Remember the jokes?
Which we're not gonna
You
see now.
die. You die.
You dial.
Yadal. A Spider Gwen fan art card.
All
cool.
black and white. I like that.
Black and whites, yeah. A Divinity full art card from the forthcoming solo venture. Nice. I like that. A self-portrait of me on a duck, requested by Mack-Attack.
Oh wait, yeah, I did request this one.
You did request it, yeah?
Doesn't look like him at all.
I don't give a duck.
I totally forgot I
He's
requested
got way
this.
more hair than that.
Right?
He does
Well, it
have
was
more
just
hair
like
than
when we did the
How
12
much
Days
hair
of
he wishes
Christmas,
he has.
and then he did the proxy card of him in a
Chibi
tree. Yeah, Chibi me in a tree. A whole
Lee Wall.
Lee Wall parody
Holy wall, Batman.
from Genesis Bio. Nice, I'm using that for sure. An 8-bit DS proxy card of Stream Vents. Nice. Oh, Steam Vents. Sorry, Steam Vents from Magic the Gathering.
Well, we're streaming, so it can be stream events. Why not?
Nice. And he's also including a bonus play set of Death's Companion. This is the one I was excited because he was on.
Oh, Jeff, you gotta send me some of these.
It's been one of
Jack.
the most requested cards to reprint. Look at that.
Wow.
I was so envious. Jordan sent me a picture
That's
of
delicious.
that full art. That is a gorgeous.
That was not
art.
available to me earlier.
What, this one?
Yeah, when he was at the championship. It must not have been done. This must be
No,
new.
these are new.
Yummy.
He recently announced it a few weeks ago, before the Patreon was sent out, that he was there was a surprise coming, and he only did the text box at the bottom, but he didn't realize that the name
Was
of
in
the
the text
card
box.
was in the text box, and it's like, oh, we're getting to another Death's Companion, and he's like, what? And then he realized that the name is in the actual card.
Cool.
Fantastic.
I know, right? That art is super fantastic.
Beautiful.
So thank you very much, Jeff Pizzito. You want to check him out, Outer Edge Comics. You can do a search on Facebook. I'm sure he's there. Or Jeff Pizzito himself. Reach out
TikTok, YouTube.
to
Stuff
him.
like
He is
that.
on YouTube as well. He does his own collector in cars cracking packs. It's a
Get
mouthful.
rid of the glare.
It's the glare of it, yeah.
Oh.
And he's doing some comic books, making his own games. Like, the guy is just a phenomenal
It's just the exact
phenomenal
same
guy,
thing.
and a really good friend. We love you, Jeff Pizzito. Thank you once
Yes, thank you, Jeff. Those are hilarious.
again. We're not. Sorry, what?
Oh,
No, go ahead.
no, you're good.
No, you first.
No,
You first.
No, I'm fine.
No, go ahead.
Fan of the moment.
I'm good. Just go.
I think Will wants to
What
finish
is
up.
that?
Yeah, that's Jeff Pizzito. Anyway, we're not going to be able to
alright.
finish this out by stating check out Genesis Battle of Champions anymore. However,
Well, I mean-
we will continue to do content for Genesis when we come up with it, kind of thing. We're going to have to get a little bit creative because there's nothing really new to talk about. But yeah, I'm sure we can do some live gameplays, etc. You know, sit down, have some discussions here and there when we get the opportunity to. One side of the coin will still continue to run as often as we possibly can. It may not be all.
Turn into a Lorcana stream.
Lorcana stream. Yeah, well, just up.
No, you're all going to be in on it.
Well, I'm excited for Lorcana.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
So Lorcana, it's the new Disney TCG that's coming in the fall.
This is your seat, though.
We gotta
Yeah.
dress up as Mickey Mouse and all get on here.
Yeah,
Can't
right.
get on my arms.
Excuse me?
She said I gotta get it on her arms.
Oh.
She wants me to finish her sleeves.
I thought she said we had to get on her arms. I'm like, what the hell does that mean?
No, that ain't gonna work.
Nothing surprises me after
Um,
this stream.
What?
Nothing
nothing
surprises
surprises-
me after this
yeah.
stream.
No doubt. Anyway, yeah, we're
This is
gonna
the new one side of the coin.
the new one side of the coin.
Coming
yeah.
on here
Just-
and being us.
Just
Random stuff,
random show.
stuff that we talk about. Yeah, whatever comes to mind. Type
Yeah.
thing. So, once again, our heart goes out to all the Genesis community. 100%. We're feeling your pain. Hopefully, it's not as much as ours. But yeah, we're gonna do our best to keep it going and talk about it as much as we possibly can. But anyway, on behalf of one side of the coin, we're gonna say farewell for now. Steveo the Gamer,
Mack-Attack.
and thank you so much, Will, for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Can't tell you to keep in touch because I see you all the time.
All the time.
All the
Yeah,
time.
he's always here.
100%.
He lives here now. Like,
Yeah. So, no, I'm not gonna be able to test out. Well, yeah, I can still test out. I have some decks on the go. Yeah, some secret things in my back pocket.
Nice.
Not literally, but anyway. We'll see you next week, next Thursday on one side of the coin. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
That's what you're whipping out of your ass.